जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा गोपाल की श्री श्री गौर निताय की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा welcome to our discussion today evening on the same topic as morning, the secret necklace. So first, humility. As morning also we discussed about Sanatan Goswami. So Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, when they met Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami in particular, that was in Varanasi, I think. So he says, "Ke ami kene amai jare tapatre, iha nahi jani kemone hit hoy." And this is humility of Sanatan Goswami. Though such a big scholar of the scriptures, he says, "I don't know ke ami, who am I, kene amai jare tapatre. Why the threefold miseries are troubling me? That I just do not know. In the worldly language, people consider me a great learned scholar, and I'm also such a fool. I think it is so. But I don't even know why I'm suffering." So, this is the humility of Sanatan Goswami. So, also we hear the statements like Vidya Dadati Vinayam. When we earn knowledge, then that gives us humility. Or Vidya Vinayena Shobhate. Prabhupada in one place says, for a self-realized soul, honor or dishonor pertaining to this body is useless. He doesn't care about honor, dishonor, and all these kind of things because he's self-realized. He's not thinking himself to be body, mind, words, by body, mind, intelligence, or false ego. That's why in the morning I was telling book distribution is very helpful because quite sometimes people will not honor us, which is not the case in our inside voice or inside temple scenario, where all other devotees respect us a lot. Then he says, out of sheer humility, a sannyasi goes from door to door begging alms. There also humiliation will happen. For us, the sophisticated way of begging alms is book distribution. When we go out for book distribution or preaching also, there also some boys will close the door on your nose space like that. When I would go for hostel preaching in my third year or so, as soon as I would enter only from the gate, boys would shout. One of them would shout, "Hey, Hare Krishna has come! Run!" So it would be so loud, I can easily hear while entering from the gate only, main gate, not even hostel building gate, the main gate only. So I would say, "अरे बच्चों जाओगे कहाँ? Hostel में तो है." Where will you run? You are running inside the hostel only, and I'm entering inside now. Wait. So I would do a lot of follow. But it's very good. People don't respect us. That way our false ego is punctured. Beginning of knowledge is I am not God but subordinate to God. But because of Maya, time and time again, we tend to think ourselves to be equal to God. That yes, I have so many powers. That 16th chapter Krishna says, Ishwaroham aham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi adhyo abhijanvanasmi konnosti maya sadrushah. So he says, I am Ishwar, I am the controller. Ishwaraham aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer. Morning we were discussing all Ishwaraham aham bhogi siddhoham, I am perfect. Balavan, I'm physically also powerful. Sukhi, I'm very happy. And I'm surrounded by aristocratic family members. Who is like me? Nobody is like me. Mm. He was my enemy, I have killed him. He's another enemy, I'll kill him also. And will become the topmost. So this kind of demonic thinking comes in us also. That's why we should take a humble role. We should read scriptures. We should read the humility of the acharyas, what they say. Like Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Jagai madai haite moi se papishta puri shera kita haite moi sa lagishta. I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and I'm worse than the worm in the stool. Anybody who thinks of me loses pious credits, and anybody who takes my name, he becomes sinful. Such humility, isn't it? We want everybody to chant our name. And that at the end there should be Jai. Aman Prabhu ki Jai. Are Jai bolo Prabhu. Whenever ki comes now, we should say Jai. Bolo Aman Prabhu ki. Are he's not saying only. You don't understand. It's a key to success. Whenever ki is there, you should say Jai. Vrindavan Dham ki. Likewise, Aman Prabhu ki. He's not saying Jai. He's not learning the lesson. That I already told. It's the key to success. Whenever key comes, you should say Jai. That's the key to success. But no problem. के अंदर तो लड्डू फूट ही रहे. No problem. So, so he says one of the ways to become humble is by thinking of our sinful past. Our current may be not very glorious, but better than earlier. But in the past, what all habits we had, what all we were eating, our, what all we were drinking, and what kind of abusive language or worst language. I was in the hostel, so one Punjabi boy, every sentence at the end, just like while writing, there is a full stop. That fellow in speaking, at the end of every sentence, he has to have one gali. So first time when he said, like he said Sale, so he completed the statement and he said Sale. I was wondering, अरे मुझे साले क्यों बोला इसने? मैंने तो कुछ अपराध नहीं किया. बाद में देखा second statement, then also that Sale and all that. Then after 5, 6 statement, then I understood, oh, this is like full stop. Every sentence while speaking, he has to have one gali. So people, or sometimes people have that spitting habit. I'll not ask who all had it. While walking on the road, you know, without eating tambaku, putto, and all that, just a spitting habit like that. And what to speak of, like government offices, we are climbing on the staircase, and it's written there, "Do not spit," and exactly on that only they spit. They check whether by throw while spitting is exactly falling on that or not. So they cover it up very nicely. Do not, and there it is, spitting is there. Do not spit. So exactly, spit should be there. So they do not, and then you cannot read the next word. The spit is there. So understood. Do not spit. So there are several words we have for humility, like prashray, avanata, dainya. Many places they come. Now, one of the nice verses Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quoted. I just 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Everything is gone already. Just one. This is 10th canto, 87th chapter, 50th verse. In the purport, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada quote, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur takes this opportunity to offer this humble prayer. You can repeat after me. Meaning is amazing. He Bhakta Dwari Ayam Chanchad Valadhirauti O Manak Prasadam Labhatam Yasmad Vishishtah Shveva Nathati. So he's saying, Hey Bhakta, O devotees, this poor creature is standing at your door. You look at me, not there. You can switch off that. Can who has started it? That can be switched off. Huh? Otherwise, it ours becomes seeing process. Ours is hearing process. Shrutek shitapantaha. Through hearing you see, not through eyes. Like that. So, oh devotees, this poor, as soon as that was started, immediately all devotees started looking there. One learns preaching by seeing a preacher, not by seeing the screen. Yeah, we were told from day one, because we all were being trained that you all should become preachers. So, how to become preacher? The topmost way is by seeing a preacher, how he preaches in action, in the field. So, here everybody is learning from the greatest preacher, the screen. The screen never goes out to preach, it remains here only. We should not divert our attention to seeing process. Seeing is believing for many. So we should not be in that category. For us, hearing. I will not give lecture on that. We will come to this verse. Hey Bhaktaha, O devotees, this poor creature is standing at your doorway. Dwari ayam chanchad, waving his tail and barking. Valadhi rauti vo manak. He's comparing himself to a dog, waving his tail and barking. Please let him have a little prasadam so that he may become exceptional among dogs and get the best of masters as his owner. I'm a dog already, waving my tail and barking. But just offer me little a bit of your remnants of prasadam, so that I will become exceptional among dogs. And what kind of exceptional dog? And get the best masters as his owner. And now you see what he says. Here the Acharya makes a pun on his own name. So the words are Vishishtaha Shveva Nathati. So he is giving splitting of that. Vish in bracket Ishtaha. Vishishtaha. Vish Ishtaha. That means exceptional. Then Shwa Iva. Shwa means dog. Iva means like a dog. Natheti, Nathati, that means Nathati, that is having a master. So he has made a pun on his own name. His name is Vishwanath, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Such an amazing devotee that he was given the title Chakravarti. Like he has, what do you call, won all the directions, conquered all the directions. So Vishwanath. So Vish is exceptional, Vishishta. Then Shwa, like a dog, Shwa Iva. And Nath Ati, having a master. Vishwanath. Understand? What amazing way of presenting. So this is the humility of our acharyas. We wish we also follow in their footsteps. Just 1 minute. Yeah, so then he says that morning we said how Mahaprabhu gave them initiation. Then in the song Vidyara Vilase Kata Inokal. How many of you know that song? Only two devotees. Everybody is Kata Inokal in Vidyara Vilase. Only two know. Who has written that song? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I will just read out. विद्यार विलासे काटाइनु काल परम साहसे आमी তোমার চরণ না ভজিনু কভু এখনো শরণ তুমি. With great enthusiasm I spent my time in the pleasures of mundane learning and never worshipped your lotus feet, O Lord. Now you are my only shelter. পড়িতে পড়িতে ভরসা বাড়িল জ্ঞানে গতি হবে মানি সে আশা বিফল সে জ্ঞান দুর্বল সে জ্ঞান অজ্ঞান জানি. Reading on and on. Psalm, strength of materials, storm, theory of materials, elements of electrical engineering, elements of civil engineering, elements of mechanical engineering, all stuff. Reading on and on, my hopes grew and grew. For I considered the acquisition of material knowledge to be life's true goal. How fruitless those hopes turned out to be, for all my knowledge proved feeble. Now I know that all such erudition is actually pure ignorance. Please repeat. Now I know that all such erudition is actually pure ignorance, unadulterated ignorance. There is no tinge of knowledge there. So pure ignorance, unadulterated ignorance. There is no adulteration of knowledge there. All our engineering, medicines, law, and all is pure ignorance. जड़ विद्या जाता मायार वैभव तुम्हारा भजने बाधा मोह जनमिया अनित्य संसारे जीव के करो ये गधा जीव के करो ये गधा. All the so-called knowledge of this world is born of the flickering potency of your illusory energy, Maya. Jada Vidya, Jata Mayara Vaibhav. This is pompous display of Maya Devi. All your so many departments. Prabhupada, that's what he must have thought when he was given tour of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Swamiji, this is a physics department. This is chemistry. This is biology. This is microbiology. This is computer science. This is this. This is that. For Prabhupada said, where is the department which distinguishes the living from the dead? So Swamiji, we don't have any department like that here. Prabhupada said, what is use? All useless. It's all zero. MIT is equal to big zero, or rather minus infinity. Because it gives pure ignorance. Like that. जड़ विद्या जतो मायर वैभव तोमार भजने बाधा all the time chanting I'm engineer I take only high salary I'm engineer I only tech B tech M tech B tech M tech B tech M tech I only tech I never give. So Tomara Bhajane Badha, while chanting Hare Krishna, we are only chanting engineering, that I am engineer or whatever I am. Moha Janamiya, it produces grand illusion. Anitya Samsara, in this material world, which is temporary, it makes Jiva ke kore Gadha, makes him a first class donkey. Bharvahi, he carries so many certificates on his body and goes like a dog carries bone in his mouth and goes door to door. Like that we carry our certificates and go company to company. Sir, please give some job. I'm jobless fellow. Hmm. And for your information, FYI, hmm, I am the greatest donkey. For 4 years, I carried 36 subjects in my engineering. That was purely theory. Apart from that, some practicals also. So, like that. Next, he says, Sei Gadha. The Gadha's story continues. Sei Gadha hoye samsadrer boja bahinu anek kala বার্ধক্যে এখন শক্তির অভাবে কিছু নাহি লাগে ভালো 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 কিছু নাহি লাগে ভালো. Here is one person who has been turned into such an ass. Here is one person who has been turned by this modern educational system into such an ass. Sei gada hoye samsarer boja, who for so long has carried on his back the useless burden of material existence. Bahinu aneka kal. Now in my old age, Bardakhe Khon, Shaktira Bhave, for want of the power to enjoy, Kichu nahi lage bhalo. I find that nothing at all pleases me. जीवन जाता ना होइलो एखन से विद्या अविद्या भेलो अविद्यार ज्वाला घटिलो विषम से विद्या होइलो सेलो. Life has now become agony, for my so-called erudite knowledge has proven itself to be worthless ignorance. Material knowledge has now become a pointed shaft and has pierced my heart with the intolerable burning pain of ignorance. How do you find the language? Very pleasing to the pure soul and very painful for the false ego. তোমার চরণ বিনা কিছু ধন সংসারে না আছে আর ভক্তি বিনোদ জড় বিদ্যা ছাড়ি তু আপদ করে সার. O Lord, there is no treasure worth seeking in this world other than your lotus feet. Bhaktivinoda abandons all his mundane knowledge and makes your lotus feet the sum and substance of his life. That we already discussed. Bhaktivinoda abandons all his mundane knowledge. Just put them in a dustbin, take one match stick, swaha, like that. And the ash that you get, blow it off. So that no trace of that pure ignorance anyhow falls on your existence. That you have to ensure. No? So you have to blow off the ash that comes from burning all your Kansari Thakur, where he was also introduced. So he would come to his Prayak pharmacy. Uh, yeah, Prayak pharmacy. And then he would ask, do you have some tonic by taking which my memory power will increase and I can crack the exam? The Prabhupada would give him some tonic or some medicines by which. But eventually in 1936 or somewhere he got, not 36, 1932 he got initiated, OBL Kapoor. So when he would come to Prabhupada's pharmacy, Prabhupada would immediately come out and pay obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. He would feel very awkward. He knew that just because he is not initiated, Abhay Charan Babu, he is paying obeisances because I am initiated. But actually he is far superior than me. He knew for sure. But Prabhupada had that humility. No, I am initiated later, so they are all seniors. They got initiated before me. So Prabhupada would pay obeisances. So how to get rid of our false pride? Anybody knows? By serving great souls. Dambham mahad upasaya. The false pride is destroyed by serving great souls. They will not care for your B.Tech, M.Tech. They will smash you. One of the guest receptionists in our Pune temple, very famous and very considered special in guest reception. When His Holiness Chandramouli Swami Maharaj came, Maharaj from that sannyasi room loft wanted something which was little above. So he asked this Prabhu in saffron, who was famous for his guest reception. So he climbed on a chair and got the thing out from there, gave it to Maharaj, came down and gave to Maharaj. And Maharaj said, "Thank you." Then he said, "Okay, Maharaj." Then he was leaving, and Maharaj said, "What is this? You climbed on the chair and took out that thing. Now, who will clean that chair? Because your dust from the feet has come there. And you are not cleaning, you are just going like that. You are a Kshudra, polished. Dambam Mahadupasaya." So he was born in Brahmin family, by the way. And Maharaj said, "You are a Shudra, and you have proven it also. You are proven Shudra because you are going without cleaning that chair." We could also do menial services by which we'll become humble. These are some of the ways we could become humble. Like once Srila Prabhupada gave Srimad Bhagavatam class, and it seems some devotee had not done cleaning of some area there properly. So Prabhupada immediately took the broom and started cleaning, showing that how to clean. So he was just now sitting on Vasasan, and now after coming out, immediately he's cleaning the floor with a broom. Similarly, Prataprudra king also you can see. In Kshatriya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, uh, राजार तुच्छ सेवा देखी प्रभुर तुष्ट हैलमान. Just by seeing the menial service that was rendered by King Prataprudra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased. He took that broom, started sweeping the floor on the road in front of the Jagannath cart. Prabhupada would also request sometimes some of his disciples that please pray for me. So Prabhupada is praying to, asking his disciples to pray for him. How do we do that? How many of you do that? Asking younger devotees also to pray for you. Good. You're following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. And it seems he said once, "You cannot survive without my mercy, and I cannot survive without your mercy. It is reciprocal." Once I have heard from my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, that you need me and I need you. It's reciprocal. You need me, not that you need me. I'm a great hero. The next statement is, I need you. Similarly, Prabhupada is saying same thing. You cannot survive without my mercy, and I cannot survive without your mercy. It is reciprocal. Also, he considered his disciples to be his spiritual master. Representative of the spiritual master also, but also spiritual master. He was learning from them also. Once in Kolkata, Revati Nandan Prabhu, one of the disciples, called Srila Prabhupada as pure devotee. Maybe while introducing people, Srila Prabhupada said, I am not a pure devotee, I am a rascal. How many of you use words like this, that I am a rascal? Really? Oh, sorry, actually, none of you are rascals. I use that quite often. There is no need actually for me to do that because everybody knows I am rascal. But still, just in case I forget that I am rascal, I keep repeating like that. So Prabhupada said once, you open 108 temples and then my spiritual master will be a little satisfied with me. If you open 108 temples, my spiritual master will be a little satisfied with me. Then I will go to hell. Then he said, Sudama, if you are going, Sudama Prabhu asked, no, if you are going to hell, then we will also go to hell with you. Chila Prabhupada said, no, 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 you are all devotees. You will go to Vaikuntha. So after 108 temples opened, then also Prabhupada saying, my spiritual master will be little pleased with me. Not fully also, because this is not much service. Then I will go to hell. They are saying that we will also go with you. No, you will go to Vaikuntha because you are devotees. That means who is not devotee? Prabhupada himself, according to him. Morning we discussed one of the ways to become humble. What is that? Hmm? That we already discussed just now also. By tolerating. The more you tolerate, the more you become humble. And other way also. The more you are humble, the more you tolerate. If you think high of yourself, you won't be able to tolerate. But the more you tolerate, you become humble, and the more you are humble, the more you tolerate also. So how much can you tolerate? How many things and how many people? So he says we should be enthusiastic for service and last for credit. How many of you follow that? He got scared. My God, I am the only one raising hand. Maybe I did not understand what's the question. Enthusiastic for service and last for credit. Sometimes we are enthusiastic for credit and not at all there for service. How many of you have cut sorry figure because you forgot the seva and afterwards you were caught? Prabhu, you did not do. Oh, Prabhu, I forgot. How many of you have done that? Hari bol. Jai. We are in the same boat which has reached the bottom of Garbhodak Sagar because of our not doing services. It went in the water and it reached the bottom. So now the shell of the universe is about to break so that we go outside in the Virja river. Our boat will sail there. So we should never be eager for credit. Let credit go to other devotees. I got service, that's all. Because I am a servant. So once one guru asked disciples, one particular disciple, he was testing him before initiation. He said, go and find out somebody worse than you. So then he went all around and around, but then he did not find only like that. So, but then Guru said, no, you have to find out something must be worse than you. Then ultimately, then he found some stool on the road somewhere. Yeah, this stool is worse than me. Hmm. But then he thought, no, actually it was gulab jamun, and I had gulab jamun, and I converted it to stool. So I am worse than that stool because it was earlier gulab jamun, na? But because of contacting me, it became this thing. And in the process, he had also thought maybe the worm in the stool is worst. But then he thought, no, the worm makes it into manure by which the crops can grow nicely. From stool, he makes manure, whereas myself, I made gulab jamun into stool. So I am worse than the stool also. So then Guru at once gave him diksha, seeing his realization. In ISKCON also we should keep such kind of like IDC is there, ISKCON disciple course, like that some things like this should also be there. Mm. All the disciples should say, Guru Maharaj, I am worse than stool. Any gulab jamun shrikhand comes in touch with me, gets converted into stool. And the worms in the stool are far superior to me because They take convert stool into manure. So, but okay, chalo. Post Diksha, at least we should have sessions like this. So one of the problems with this, with us, is high estimation of ourselves. We think very high of ourselves. Yeah. How many of you say very in bracket over and then what to call confidently? That means how many of you say overconfidently? Yeah, that I will do, bro. Haribol. Hmm. Under promise, over delivery. Not over promise or over confident and no delivery. Under delivery is also okay, but no delivery only. And no remembrance that there was supposed to be some delivery. Like that. We see in the case of Romaharshan Sud that he was so scholarly, disciple of Vedvyas only, and knew so many scriptures, especially when he was appointed by the Naimisharanya sages to be the speaker. Then the pride grew all the more. Already pride was there, that was being exhibited. But when Balramji during the battle of Kurukshetra, who was on pilgrimage, happened to come there, at once all the sages got up in respect for Balramji, except Romaharshan Sut, who thought, after all, I'm giving class. One who is giving class, he doesn't have to get up and give respect to everyone who keeps coming, going, etc. But if somebody senior to him comes, then it is his responsibility also, as far as the etiquettes go. He should get up, get down from the Vyasasan, pay obeisances, and request that Prabhu, that Maharaj Prabhu, whatever, you please continue the class. But Romaharshan Sud did not stand up because he was proud. And Balramji detected it. He took a blade of grass, touched his body, and killed him on the spot. On the Vyasasana only, he became Shavasan, hmm, for him. So he had very high estimation of himself. That means he was very proud. One of the ways is by hearing from Guru with a humble heart, one becomes humble. So one should hear from Guru, spiritual master, directly. That is very powerful because pure spiritual master is pure devotee. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one sentence in which Prabhupada writes, don't be proud of borrowed plumes. On the peacock's feather, in the middle, you will find an eye-like structure is there, isn't it? Looks quite similar to eye. So if you take that portion only and put it on your eyes and ask others, how are my eyes? And they may say very beautiful. But he says, do not be proud of borrowed plumes. Not that your eyes are beautiful, you have borrowed those plumes from the peacock's feather. So do not be proud of that. Similarly, all that we are proud of, that is not ours, isn't it? Like in devotional service, we become proud of so many shlokas that we know. But who taught us the shlokas? Did we know the shlokas before coming to devotional service? We did not know anything. So I remember in 96, I'm not sure which month, could be February, March, something like that. Once my facilitator, His Grace Prem Nidhi Pro, came to my hostel room, 211 in Bhakti Vidyapith College of Engineering hostel. So in the room, he came and he said, I have a gift for you. And he gifted me one, mm, it's what you call, something like five-fold, mm, what you call, like this, little thick, like our greeting card, like that, so long, but it is five folded. You understand? Five folds are there, so if you open it, then it becomes this long. So there were photos of Shishi Radha Rasbihari, Shishi Radha Gopinath, and Shishi Radha Giridhari, three temples of Mumbai. That time Khargar was not there. And backside or something, proper photo was also there. And backside there was this Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Ithinamine. Then Namaste Saraswati Devi and then Jai Sri Krishna Hare Krishna. So why I am telling this? Because in those days I would hear in the weekly class Radhesham Prabhu saying that or that Namam, the prayers would be there. But I did not know by heart. So when I found that paper, then immediately I took that in my diary and I wrote down N-A-M-A-H, Namaha, and O-M, Om, Vishnu Padaya. Because that paper may not be with me all the time, but this diary will be with me. So I can memorize this. So we see how, what was our level. Even Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, we did not know by heart. But then we learned because some devotee gifted us something like that. But then afterwards we become so proud. Oh, Nama Om. किसी को नमा ओम नहीं, मुझे ही नमो नमः. How proud we become. So we should remember our past, how much we were in ignorance and all that. So he says sarcasm is another sign of arrogance. Like in the case of Rahugan, when he came across Jada Bharat, he was so sarcastic. Oh, you are so lean and thin, and it's difficult for you to lift this palanquin because you are very lean and thin. So Jada Bharat was not lean and thin. He was quite good, built, well built. But he's sarcastically speaking to him. So the sarcasm is another side of arrogance. So we should not speak sarcastically. Many of you may not have experience because you are somewhat younger. When you grow into seniority, you may use this, but don't use it. Karna was arrogant with Shalya, his charioteer, and then what happened? Shalya left Karna. He also discouraged him by many discouraging words. So if we are arrogant with anyone, then we will have difficulty in life. So he says, the greatest pahalwan who can respect everyone in the entire creation. Greatest pahalwan is not how many people he can lift, but if he can respect everyone in the creation, he is the greatest pahalwan. What do you call? Weightlifter, wrestler kind of. This is most difficult wrestling or most difficult weightlifting. This weight we cannot lift. It's very heavy. The weight of respecting others is very difficult. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says also, Sakale sammana korite shakati deha natha jatha jatha tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe aparadaha behata. So Sakale samman, to be able to respect everyone. Korite shakati requires lot of strength. Amanina manadena. Very difficult. So we should try to become pahlwans, weightlifters. Sometimes we do Surya Namaskar and all that, push-ups and all that, thinking that yes, my strength is increasing. But strength is really increasing when we are able to respect everyone in the creation. So we should certainly try for this. Then it will be glorious. So that is something about humility. Any question on humility? Means developing humility. You are already humble, but for the sake of other devotees, if you have any question. If no question, Aman Prabhu is the OC of BHU, BHU University wise. OC first. When
Like,
OC asks question, then Messi answers the question.
it's like difficult, like easy, like to respect who is respecting everyone and who is good, have good qualities, but a person who have some arrogance or something who is doing non proper thing, so उनके साथ थोड़ा सा हम्बल रह पाना, जो लाइक हमारे साथ हम्बल है उसको वो थोड़ा सा होता, तो वो कैसे डेवलप.
That requires Shakti only, na? When you have Krishna Prem in your heart, you are able to respect everyone. Whether they, so to say, according to mundane morality, behave nicely with you or not. So just you need Krishna Prem only. That's why we are daily having morning program, and in that we particularly chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The more you chant and with undivided attention you chant, then it becomes pure devotional service, no mixed devotional service. When mixed devotional service is there, then there is contamination of lower modes of passion and ignorance and even goodness. And because of that it is mixed devotional service. But it is said yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana, sarvair gunas tatra samasate sura. All the good qualities of demigods appear in a person who practices pure devotional service. So we should chant purely and perform pure devotional service. Then all the good qualities of demigods. So in that, even if disrespected, we'll be able to respect them by giving due honor to them. In Maharashtra we have one saint. We had his name is Sant Eknath. So he was the resident of Python. So when he would take bath in Godavari and would be going back, one person would spit on his body purposefully to agitate him and to trouble him like that. So when he would be spat upon with that pan after eating pan, he would be undisturbed. Then he would go back and take bath again. Again, when he would come back, again person would spit, and it went on like that for days together. But he was never disturbed. And then afterwards, one day nobody spat on him. So he was wondering what happened. So he went to that person from the window where he would spit from. There he found that man was sick. He was lying on the bed with nobody to help him. Immediately he called this Eknath Maharaj, called for a Vaidya who treated him, and he would cook for him and feed him. That man was surprised. I would always spit on you, but you are so kind, loving. I never thought. And how you tolerate that? He said, what is there to tolerate? It was great fortune. You are allowing me to take again another bath in Godavari. Taking bath in holy Godavari, it is so purifying. So I'm very grateful to you for allowing me to take several baths in Godavari. See what a highly positive thinker, isn't it? Without undergoing positive thinker course, without getting any certificate. He got certificate from the critic, from one who was envious of him. We may get positive thinker course certificate, and when somebody insults us, then we may say, what nonsense, you don't know I am the OC. Hmm? Oh, IIT also. Who is the one? Haribo. They are sitting on my right and left. Krishna. So, once Guru Maharaj said, if you only know whom you are associating with, you will faint in ecstasy. So I now realized I'm also very close associates are the OCs of IIT BHU and BHU University. And I don't know, maybe there I am and PM, Prime Minister also may be there, who is currently called Project Manager. You know, PM only, na? Like that. What is Prabhu's name? नमन. क्या बात है. अमन एंड नमन. वो एक कहता है मन अमन, और वो कहता है न मन. दोनों मन के विरोध में स्पिरिचुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पे पहुंच गए. अ मीन्स नॉट ओनली अमन, और ये न मन. लाइक दैट. ग्रेट. ओनली आई एम द मन वन, riding on the chariot of mind. Any other? Yes.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about by hearing from Guru with humble heart one become humble. So what is the difference between humble heart and becoming humble?
Humble heart means that is inside, subtle body, also mind, and then gross body will follow the subtle body automatically. So first inside one has to be convinced, then externally one will be ready to do. By hearing from Switcher Master, one will become humble at heart, and he'll be like Prabhupada was asked by Brahman, Prabhupada, I don't feel like bowing down. Should I still bow down? Prabhupada said, yes. You bow down, then you'll feel like bowing down. So Prabhupada's words, he had so much faith. So he started bowing down. Though he was not feeling like bowing down, but Prabhupada said he started bowing down. And then he really became humble. So faith in spiritual master's words is very important. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Hare
I have
Krishna.
two questions, Prabhuji. First
One
question
at a time.
So first one is like those who are regularly engaged in menial services, then many time he can become proud also. So what is the alternative option for his living?
That's a menial services means that which we are told to do. Even if you are attached to that service, which is you consider to be menial, afterwards you might be told by your superiors, no, not this. Now you do this. No, no, that is service in limelight. No, you have to do that. So by following the superiors, he will not develop the pride by doing menial services.
And second question is Prabhuji, um, in general devotee consider like those who are very refined dealings or very sophisticated languages and good dealing, then people assume that he's like become humble also. But in one like one sense, second sense is like in management or some like some services, people are not like they are the language is not too much refined. In some heat is there, but maybe in like consciousness and intention is like very humble. That is also like what we can you clarify this, like how we can judge or
Eventually, the time will prove who is who. Isn't it? Like Romaharshan Sud was very sweet speaking on the scriptures, but when Balramji came, he failed. So everybody will pass through different situations, and then time will expose everyone who is really what. Just like you have heard that fox who fell down in a blue color tub, blue color mix liquid was there, so he became very bluish. When he was going through the forest, everybody was wondering, oh, what is this? Maybe some angel has come. And then to the degree that all the animals unanimously agreed upon that he deserves to be the king of all the animals in the forest, so they made him the king, and he was given simhas. Even the lions, tigers, elephants, everybody would bow down to him. That Maharaj, who has come from some another world, angel. Like, so once the meeting was going on, he was sitting on the simhasan of that, and far there in the forest, the jackals there, they started howling, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." And immediately this fellow also howled because he was also jackal, who fell down in that. mm. Because that is the their nature, no? So then, as he howled, then everybody understood, hey, this fellow is not some special one. He's another jackal only. They immediately pounced upon him and tore him off. Story ends. So, like that, we'll also be exposed. That doesn't mean that the devotee who is speaking sophisticated way, he has uh, desire to be in limelight and all. Sometimes that is the trend, that is the upbringing that way. And somebody who may be straightforward, may be speaking direct, which may appear rough and little not so sweet. Mm. So, but then eventually it will be clear. Once Radhesham Prabhu was telling that sometimes some people think that the counselor who is very sweet and very loving, very hugging and all that, he's very nice counselor, like that. Mm. And the counselor who is very rough, directly pinpointing and saying but nonsense and all that, so he's not good. So Raisham Bruce said, counselor as well as preachers also, I think he was talking. He said, I would not say so. I would say falena parichete. By results we can judge. Somebody may be very sweet speaking counselor or preacher or something, but then his boys are hardly becoming devotees or counselors or whatever it is. And on the contrary, somebody may appear to be very rough and straightforward in his speech, but then so many boys are becoming devotees and all that. So, falena parichayate, not necessarily by superficial things. Any other? Hmm. It all depends on the intention. Advancement depends on the attitude of the follower. But sarcasm is many times, it's like you are not able to take action there. So then we may use very sarcastic words. Basically, shooting with arrow, piercing words, sarcastic words. So that is arrogance only. Yes. सदानंद गौर प्रभु की, हे मेरे अन्नदाता, तेरे बिना कुछ नहीं भाता.
Hare Krishna,
अरे
Prabhuji.
प्रभु हैज अ क्वेश्चन. मेरे अन्नदाता पहले.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा.
Prabhuji, sometimes, like in order to be really humble, sometimes it becomes impressing, like superficially. In my case, it happens. Like how to actually be realistically humble in front of superiors.
No, if you are trying to impress them, they will suppress you or at least purify you. In front of superiors, it won't work. Like in front of teacher, you are trying to prove that you are very smart in solving mathematics. It won't work there. He knows hundreds times better. So if you want, you can try also, and then see what happens. They won't be impressed. It may work with some others, not with superiors. That's what Brahmaharshan Sut could not impress Balramji. Brother Balramji detected pride in him and killed him. Hare
One,
Krishna.
one more question.
Yes, one more.
Sometimes when I render some services like with other devotees, then that some little feeling comes like I'm best. Like some things will.
और तुम्हारे भक्त जनों में हमसे बढ़कर कौन, स्वामी हमसे बढ़कर कौन,
Then
असमृद्ध होगा. Nobody is equal to me, nobody is above superior to me. मैं ही मैं हूँ, दूसरा कोई नहीं.
like how to see like everyone like
That's what
relation
knowledge is
with one.
required. Ignorance dictates you are very special. You are the topmost devotee. Knowledge dictates you are the lowermost. That's how we have to gain knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatedam pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastatva darshana. Just approach a self-realized soul, spiritual master, with all humility, submission, inquire from him, and render service. Then they can impart knowledge because they have seen the truth. When our mind gives us so-called knowledge, that is ignorance, which makes us think that we are very special devotee, the best devotee in the devotee community, like that. And knowledge dictates, oh, how many faults I have, so many. Ignorance is such, Maya is such, she will make you focus on your some abilities, skills, expertise, and the knowledge focuses on your drawbacks. Because knowledge means you know, na? And ignorance means you do not know. So you do not know your shortcomings by the grace of Maya. And when Maya's well is removed, Krishna's blessing come through Guru Parampara, through Guru, then we know, oh, so many shortcomings I have. योग्यता विचारे किछु नहीं पाई, তোমার করুণা সার, করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আর. যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু नहीं पाई. एंड व्हाट आवर माइंड डिक्टेट्स कौशिक, सब योग्यता मुझ में ही तो है, सबसे योग्य भक्त और कोई है क्या, बाकी सब अयोग्य, एक ही योग्य. ऐसे. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
Hope no offense was committed by allowing my Annadatta first.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I am advised by some seniors sometimes that you speak little hard, because you are means a little bit you are soft. But I think that
Little bit you are soft.
means you are speaking so softly. Speak little hard in a hard voice. Means if
Hard
someone
voice or loud voice, what is it? Hard means na Hari bol. And loud voice Hari bol, that is loud. So what exactly?
exactly sometimes.
Tell the senior to meet me.
So I think that speaking in a very that low voice is on the path of humbleness. Is it really on the path of humbleness, or it is just my mental
Not
compression?
necessarily it is path of humbleness. In a sense, some people by nature only from childhood they speak softly. Like one of the boys joined as a brahmachari from SP College, Sardar Patel College, Andheri, Mumbai. So because his only Bhakti Rasam Maharaj, for only one boy he was going to hostel every week on Tuesday or something. Nobody in the whole college or hostel was interested. Only one boy, and that boy joined as a brahmachari. You all know him. His Grace Sankirtan Prabhu. The guest reception is there in case you have seen him. Very soft spoken devotee like that. So what happened when he became a brahmachari? Mother was so angry. So she came and she met her son in the temple premises. So they both of them sat in one corner somewhere, and they were fighting. And the fighting that they were having, It was like our normal talking. Because both mother and son are soft spoken. So when they're fighting with raised voice, like it is our normal talking, like that. So that is upbringing is like that. Some people you have seen, na? Uh, I feel, and we fellows in that only will complete 20 sentences till his feeling, his feeling is not yet expressed, and our words are sentences are expressed like that. So different people, different. So not necessarily that is the sign of humility.
Thank you,
Okay.
coach.
And in case they want you to speak loudly, you can carry sound system. So they have this. It comes in case they want. Recently, in Nepal Yatra, they had given me one system, and because it was well wishers mainly, few devotees, and there were only 17 of them totally, and 5 of us, so it was 22 of us. So then I was doing a lot of kirtan there all the time, having that, that, no? That comes here, and this here, the battery charged thing, and a lot of kirtan, and a lot of book distribution. That's all. And all alone kirtan only mostly, because others were all into clicking photos. And it's all Buddha temples. I was wondering Buddha. But anyway, so Kirtan was good and book decision was good. But I was carrying that. That's why I'm suggesting you. You may also carry. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Proji, like
That mic is humble currently. You make it little arrogant. No sound is coming.
Because like when we are proud or when we do wrong things in devotee association, like in behavior or whatever, devotees are so humble that they don't come and tell us. They feel that
Mm.
it becomes Vaishnava offense, and it
Mm.
goes to superior after some threshold. Before
After some?
threshold,
Okay.
but before some threshold is only we are falling down, down, going down.
Mm.
But like,
Pride comes before fall.
so
So
we
pride came earlier. That is subtle fall down. Now grossly we are falling down.
So become fallen project. It will go to superior after some time only.
Hmm.
But before that only is there some way to recognize that no, it's not my way, because our mind tells
Knowledge
always.
only, na. So ignorance makes us proud. Knowledge makes us humble. So if you read daily, hear from spiritual master, pure devotee, Prabhupada, then you know what is what. Maya's covering is uncovered by the help of pure devotee. If you read fifth canto, the distances between planets, planetary systems, it's mind-boggling. So many thousand yojanas between Rahu and Ketu or Rahu and Sun. Oh my God, one yojan is 8 miles, around 13 kilometers. So, so many thousand yojanas. You understand? That means lakhs of kilometers. So then we understand, my God, what am I in comparison? Knowledge makes one humble always. That you all know that once one king drew a line on the ground and said, "Can you make this shorter without touching it?" So you have to make such a long line short. You have to erase it. You have to touch it. Without touching, how is it possible? So what is the answer? Draw another long line in front of it. Automatically, that big line appears small without touching it also. So we should come with those who have really they possess knowledge or the grantha scriptures. Then we become humble.
But at those moments of like while we are spiritually low or we are not that
That
much,
is indication, na, that you became proud. I told already, na,
because at that time knowledge gets covered now, Prabhuji,
pride comes,
before fall.
fall. So you are falling down now. So it's indication that you had pride somewhere in the past. And now if you don't become humble, you will keep falling down further. That is Krishna's way of indicating to you. Isn't it? Just like boil comes on the body somewhere. So it's indication of maybe impure blood. Some problem is there. Temperature is high in the body. That means fever is there. So that indication helps us to take some immediate precautions, medicines, etc. That way only. Any other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for class.
Hare Bol.
Prabhuji, what is the difference between being showing natural or real person, then
Legal person.
real
Real person.
real of us, or showing humble. So for example, if some devotee is not very connected to us, or not our authority to correct us or chastise us, so we humbly say that, oh, I don't I get mentally disturbed by you by saying this, so please don't do.
You
You can,
humbly say, I don't know whether he feels so humble of you.
we say that you can go to a superior and then you can complain of us.
My God.
So what is,
You are disciplining your senior, telling him the etiquettes of management. Mhm. We can hear it and you can say, okay, I will consult my superior, something like that. Rather than telling him to consult somebody else, we can say that.
many times we learn this lesson, that we are not authority to judge. So similarly, we apply, that for. I think, Prabhuji, if we get chastised from our authority superior, then we also improve in that and not commit offense to that person.
Hmm.
If that person correct us, then artificially we suppress that, but mentally we get,
Somebody else apart
uh,
from your authority.
so mentally we
You can meet
offend.
your superior authority and tell him that such and such Prabhu, when he comes and says, I get very disturbed. Could you do something? So then that senior devotee, your authority, will have talk with him. Then he may not approach you. We have to be a little more practical sometimes. What a solution I give is practical, na? Because you have head-on collision with your that senior, and you tell him, Prabhu, why don't you approach superiors? It looks very odd, isn't it? Better you go to your superior authority in whom you have faith and request him such and such things happen, and I feel little disturbed that time. Could you do something? Then he will talk to him nicely. And that devotee may tell him, see, whenever you find fault in this Prabhu, you approach me and tell me. I will tell him. Because he's not able to take up things properly with proper attitude from you. But from me, he may be able to take. ठीक है? Yes.
डिस्कसिंग अबाउट टॉलरेंस, लाइक तो एक्सटर्नल उसका सिम्टम आप बता रहे थे कि उसमें सुख दुख और
Hmm.
मान अपमान, तो इन सेम इन ह्यूमिलिटी इज देयर एनी एक्सटर्नल सिम्टम, और
He will be able to tolerate. No? As much as one able to tolerate externally, that much is humble inside.
it means the same symptoms is like of humility and tolerance.
Yeah, so they are like what you call connected only. See, if I think very high of myself, would I be able to tolerate? No. Like very rich man, can he tolerate lot of heat in his office? No. He will have 10,000 OC, what do you call that? ACs. So many OCs. OCs are influencing because of the OC association. जैसा संग वैसा रंग वैसी भाषा. So he will not be able to tolerate because he's very rich. Whereas poor fellow, it's hot, 5 degree more than previous year. What he will do? Okay. At best he will take up something and little bit. Because he's humble. It's in financial condition. So that way same thing. Any other? Okay, then something about tolerance also. He says,
One question.
yes, where? सदानंद गुरु क्या बात है, क्योंकि मुझे प्रसाद खिला खिला के इनको बहुत नॉलेज डेवलप हुआ है और मैं प्रसाद ले लेके मेरा पता नहीं क्या डेवलप हुआ. नहीं, उन्होंने दिया हुआ था प्रसाद तो इसलिए मेरा भी नॉलेज बढ़ गया.
Sometimes, like, I don't know how it happens, but I expect respect from some people. Then
He's saying like this, I expect respect from some people.
no problem.
2 times he said to me. But Prabhu, so much respect I gave. How many of you agree that I gave respect to him now? So hopefully I am not the one. That's someone.
But later on, I realized that nothing is like that, but needed.
Nothing is like that needed.
Yeah,
What is not needed?
respect.
Respect is not needed. Very good.
But that time I get disturbed. Like,
That is Maya overpowering. Mama Maya Nratya. Let her pass over. That's a humble yourself. Bow down. They have sometimes that cartoon, the plane or helicopter is coming like that, and that time the person does namaz, and it goes from his back, above the back, because he bowed down. The problem went. If you would have been like this, beheaded.
thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sometimes while serving in a team, we feel like I am not comfortable or opinion clash with this devotee. Why this? Why this comes, Prabhuji? Comes or whatever it is. It's because we have divorces. We have divorced Krishna. So, so that fellow now trying to get married with everyone will have difficulty because he has originally divorced Krishna only. The more you develop love for Krishna, you love Krishna, that much you love all the other living entities. So there's no question of not being comfortable with someone. Opinion clash is what basically my false ego he attacks in simple terms. I'm attached to my opinion, and that fellow has another opinion. You know that two scientists, one said the best way for cutting is Caesar, another said no, knife. No, Caesar, knife, Caesar, knife. They started beating. So ultimately, the knife fellow picked up the Caesar fellow and threw him in a pond. But the scientists, many times they know all complicated subject matters, but they don't know simple thing as swimming. So he started drowning because he did not know how to swim. So then he went down, 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 but he took out his hands and for cutting the best thing is scissor only. And then hand went down, drowned fully, died. Like that. So person convinced against his will remains of the same opinion still. So opinion clash is basically false ego clash. We may put in nice words. So we have to get out of false ego. That's why Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danto Guror Hitam Acharan Dasavat Nicho. He has to render humble menial services. Unfortunately, all of us always sat on very high seats. So that is not good. Why this comes, Moji? If it is due to lack of investment in the relationships with him, yeah. First, your relationship with Krishna only. Look at your chanting. So your relationship with Krishna, you're the divorcee, and you're about to burn the divorce papers, but you are not burning only. You are while burning, so the paper is not getting burnt only. Relationship with Krishna is not becoming strong because of our sleeping in japa or mind wandering. So we have to first make our relationship when your relationship with Krishna is high class, you are able to gel with everyone in the creation. In fact, not only human beings, animals, birds, reptiles, everyone. How to be accommodative? First, accommodate Krishna in your heart, who comes through the transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because Krishna is never alone, as we know. Krishna comes with all his associates, eternal associates, and his eternal sons. All the living entities are his sons. So when Krishna is allowed to enter through while vibrating through the lips, tongue, and through ear holes, Krishna enters in our heart. He dances there. Then all the living entities are also dancing. We have nice relationship with everyone. That's why book distribution is very good because you are giving Krishna to others. And in the reciprocation, Nachatasman Manusheshu, Kashin me Priyakratama. Krishna also awards himself to you. He becomes your property. And then you are so friendly. That's why I love book distribution because at once immediately friendship is uh, developed on the spot. Before that, you don't know. You have not seen that person for whole of your life, and you see for the first time. You go distribute book, and so much friendship develops because you give him Krishna, and you are very accommodative. Rather enthusiastic with the devotees with whom we are facing the issue. How to be accommodative? Rather enthusiastic with the devotees with whom we are facing the issue. The issue is a false ego only. So work on it by serving great souls. Isn't it? So many leadership problems in ISKCON because not chanting properly. His Grace Gaurang Prabhu said, if only all the ISKCON devotees worldwide just sit down and chant all their 16 rounds non-stop, from first round to 16 rounds, all the problems of ISKCON will be at once over. But we don't. Hare Krishna, थोड़ा पानी पी के आता हूँ, गला सूख रहा है, थोड़ा ये करके आता हूँ, थोड़ा वो करके आता हूँ. We don't, and if at all we sit only, then Vandanam. We convert Shravanam Kirtanam into Vandanam. Ardhanga Pranam. If head touches to the ground, it will be Ekanga Pranam. Like, it doesn't touch only, so it is Ardhanga only. Like that. So we have to improve in our relationship with Krishna mainly through chanting. Then all our relationships with others will be very high class. Yes, any other? Now time is over almost. So no question of tolerance now. Otherwise your practical test of tolerance will begin if I begin this discussion on tolerance. But if you have any question on humility, Santusht? Okay, saying Santusht. So for his pleasure we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Go Premanandi. If you are ready, we'll discuss tomorrow morning tolerance. Oh, Sahajiyasm and all, I don't know what is. By tolerating me, you will definitely become humble. But by putting you on the road of tolerance, I may lose my little bit of humility by tolerating.
Devotees wanted to devotees wanted to request you. They have decided some prizes for
Okay.
sadhana course.
They know.
You can So for body scores, Amay Prabhu have third rank, Darshil Prabhu second, and Rakesh Prabhu first.
How to distribute? Are all are Panditaha Samadarshina. So you tell first devotee and what to give. To whom? Very good. Stick it.
Darshil Prabhu.
फेसबुक में डाल देना. Stick it on the Facebook. Hari bol. Huh? Okay, okay. Wait a minute. Sorry, bro. Don't worry. I will give you my own stick it. This one. You tell, na? Everything is given to me. So I will be Pandita Samadarshina only. Hari bol. Don't worry. Anyway, on that stick it, you would have needed one highlighter. So that is given. Now what? First tell what is the gift. Then tell the devotee. Pen. Otherwise they get another pen. PIN pen. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Bol. Now what?
For soul scores, Prabhuji.
First you gift.
Stick it.
Stick it. Okay.
Rakesh Prabhu.
अरे प्रभु आपको ये मिला है फिर से अभी आपको दूसरा देते यू गॉट ना दिस कितना स्टिक करेंगे और he should stick to the process not to the papers. फोटो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है.
विशाल प्रभु.
हाँ हरी बोल. इनको क्या अभी ये स्टिक इट नहीं इनको है क्या फिर से गिफ्ट वो जो रह गए थे जो फोटो निकला था लेकिन वापस हमने नहीं वो नहीं ठीक है नो प्रॉब्लम. हरी बोल.
मधुर प्रभु.
क्या बात है इतना अप्रोर. हरी बोल. हरे कृष्ण. हरे कृष्ण. Let us thank Roji for coming to IIT YWC and for taking such wonderful discussion on how to cultivate humility practically. Let's thank Roji by 3 times loudly chanting. Dasosmi, your humble servant, who is not so humble anyway, but by discussing will become humble one day. We'll announce tomorrow like morning class.